What's up, Knucklehead? I am Lupine Fiasco, and this is your daily FaB gameplay. For anyone who's new to the channel, welcome to the jungle. What we do here is review replays of games that I played on the Talishar client days or weeks ago after enough time has passed that I lose my bias and can more objectively judge the quality of my play. I'll talk through turn cycles and give my thoughts on the line I would take now compared to the line I took then at the time of recording. We either learn from my mistakes or reinforce good play patterns with the overall goal of tightening and optimizing our gameplay in the future to take down paper events like the upcoming US Nationals and, most importantly, walk away with that shiny cardboard. If you would like to check out the deck I'm playing here or try it for yourself on Talishar, there is a FaB deck link available in the video description below. While you're down there, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel. A YouTube subscription is the best free way to support me and to make sure that you see daily FaB gameplay in your video feed 5 days a week. The best paid way to support me is through Patreon, and a Patreon link is also in the video description. A Patreon subscription will get you access to the DFG Discord and the shiny cardboard Talishar card back. At higher tiers, your name will appear in every DFG video. You'll get bonus DFG content every week, and there are even more benefits to come. Daily FaB gameplay will always be free 5 days a week, so for those who can afford to patronize me, I truly appreciate it. Now, let's talk about our sideboard and about our game plan. Similar to Katsu, Dash.io is a very difficult matchup for Kayo, as Dash.io thrives against opponents who don't block well and don't disrupt. If we give Dio space to set up, she can throw devastating 5-card High Octane, Maximum Velocity, or Tome of Fiendal from Arsenal turns, and in fact usually does all three of those in the same turn. Because she is a mechanologist, all of her attacks have boost, which will get them all go again, and because Kayo is not a deck that can fatigue Dio, we have too many non-blocks in our deck, too many 2-blocks in our deck, she can just boost willy-nilly. There is no consideration on her part of whether she is going to fatigue herself by banishing her deck. She can cheat action points with High Octane and cranked items off the top of her deck, and she has that room to set up, as I had said earlier. So this really is a race, and it is a race where we are unfavored, so we really need to high roll Dio. And the way we do that is by chaining Disruption together with Send Packing or Command and Conquer, or by playing out Blood Rush Bellows. Having lost the die roll, Dio has chosen us to go first. That is unfortunate, or rather Dio has chosen to go first, which is unfortunate. Dio is one of the rare heroes where Kayo wants to go first, because we want to be the first hero to set up an arsenal. We want that first 5-card hand, and we want to potentially pressure Dio if she draws a hand with multiple non-blocks, that being her items. We also get to punish her for playing any items off the top of her deck on our first turn, because that will leave her with fewer cards to defend. Dio starts at 36, so if we can apply early pressure, she will be farther behind than, say, another Kayo in the mirror match. As far as what we are boarding into the deck, we are playing that tight 60 because we want to find our Blood Rush Bellows and our Disruption. We are cutting our Cast Bones because we frankly just don't have time to set it up. Cast Bones represents damage that we are not immediately dealing, and if we are setting up for a future turn, we're giving Dio space on her next turn to play out that big 5-card hand. Similarly, Pack Hunt just doesn't threaten Disruption at all, is going to intimidate Dio, which can put her in a position where she needs to block awkwardly. But if we are threatening Dio with lethal damage such that she needs to block before we need to block, then it really doesn't matter that we are intimidating her. Just her blocking with cards is reducing the power of her turn, and we are coming out ahead. There isn't really that much more to say about this matchup. it is a race. We are at a disadvantage, and we need to draw better and play tighter than Dio does. So let's submit deck and see if we can pull that together. With us being on the draw, this is an okay hand. Hopefully Dio gives us the opportunity to block. We are lucky that this hand blocks 12, but unfortunately Dio is not letting us take advantage of that. So there are a few options we have, the most obvious being to play Command and Conquer and threaten Dio's arsenal. The less obvious being to play Assault and Battery, pitch our Smash Instinct, and beat chest with Runner to make that Might and Agility. If we throw Assault and Battery, Dio is not blocking. She'll take 5 and crack back with 5 cards and Backup Protocol. If we throw the Command and Conquer, then Dio could give us a single card and armor. Most likely she would give us 2 cards from hand, and that might be good enough. So I like throwing the Command and Conquer here, with the understanding that if we wanted to be brave, we could roll Scabskins and try to run a runner into CNC. Also with the understanding that this is not a good opening hand. We really would have wanted to draw some Go Again, or even just a wind up to discard at the end of Dio's turn. The hand we draw into is a little better. We do have this clash of agility to block with, which we will do here. Dio doesn't really have on hits. She has Pulse Wave Harpoon as a card that would potentially punish us for blocking early in a turn, but I don't mind doing it here. Dio does get to break her Backup Protocol, get back Zipper Hit, and then take an Intellect penalty, which is, I guess, good news for us. But unfortunately, we can't pressure Dio, we can't punish her for kind of taking a turn off. So what we can do instead is just play Runner, pitch our Assault and Battery, play Pulping, pitch our second Runner, and just throw a 4-card 12. The line I like more than that is play Runner, pitch our blue, attack with Claw, pitch Pulping, and put another Runner into our arsenal. I do want to have that 5-card hand available for if I draw Blood Rush Bellow. And because we will have agility, we don't need the Pulping in arsenal. We can arsenal our Runner instead, with the understanding that it will have Go Again. We draw into a pretty good hand here for breaking Sash, which means that we do want to block with Sash here. Dio getting a very lucky Teklo Pounder off the top of the deck after shuffling. Really bad news for us. Plus Zipper Hitch is coming in for 8. So we likely want to block with Scowling Fleshbag here because we have a Command and Conquer that we are hoping we are going to get to play out. I don't like blocking with anything else. If I am breaking Sash, I want my blue so that I can play 3 attacks. I want my Wild Ride. I want my Bare Fangs. Sequencing this turn is going to be interesting because of how we choose to use our agility. Do we use our agility to give the Runner Go Again and refresh our agility? Or do we use our agility to give Bare Fangs Go Again and just threaten more damage? And I think we want to play Runner because I am already intending to play Wild Ride and Command and Conquer, and I really want to reduce the chance that I discard either the Wild Ride or the CNC. So if I lead with Bare Fangs, I have a chance to discard Wild Ride. If I then follow up with Wild Ride, I have an additional chance to discard Command and Conquer. So if we break Sash here and lead with Runner, we can Runner, follow up with Wild Ride, and then have a 33% chance of discarding our CNC, meaning a 66% chance to keep it, which is what I really want to do. Ideally, we would play Wild Ride, draw a blue or a yellow, and then discard our Bear Fangs so that we can work a Claw in as well. And we are lucky enough to be able to pull that off. This is a lot of damage. We are ending with a Command and Conquer. It's unfortunate that we couldn't play that Send Packing and Arsenal the CNC so that we do have that chance of chaining disruption. At the very least, we are forcing Dash to block here and setting up Might and Agility for our next turn. What is unfortunate is that Dio is holding on to Teklo Core, which gives her the resources, and Teklo Pounder, which is giving her damage. And the hand we draw into is absolutely atrocious for taking advantage of Might and Agility. With Might and Agility, Kayo absolutely has 4-card hands that can threaten lethal in this position. This is not one of those hands. So damage mitigation feels okay. We'll block with this Wrecker Romp. We can use our Bone Breaker as well just to generate that Might. What I'm probably looking to do here is not do any additional blocking and just attack with yellow Agile Windup, discard blue Agile Windup to make Might and Agility again, and just hope that we can sustain. Dash plays out another Teklo Core, which leaves us at a fairly healthy 19. It really just is unfortunate that we are not able to do more with the space that we were given. I guess my follow-up here is to attack with Mandible Claw, and this is just a 3-card 10, which is still good, right? And we're putting Dash low enough on life that maybe we could get her with a 4-card hand. My thing is, I just want to set up. I want to set up for the next turn in case Dash cannot kill us through 23 effective health. I think this was probably the worst. We missed out on a point of damage by playing Smash Instinct instead of Agile Windup. And if we were going to discard our second Windup anyway, then we might as well have just pushed more damage. So that was a value leak on my part. The thing is, considering that Dash is currently at 9, let's imagine she's at 8. Let's see if we even get the rest of... Let's see if we even get a turn. Let's see if the game just ends here. As it is, our hand is pretty solid with Might and Agility. We can throw Send Packing for 7 with Go Again, then throw a Swing Big for 8. Problem is that we now have to deal with this maximum velocity, which means we do need to block around it. So I think this is fine. Dash is not going to have an arsenal, so we can go to 2 here. What is unfortunate now is that we need to block with this Beast Within, and then Dash can break Achilles Accelerator, and we need to block this as well. So I suppose that we did not block early enough with our Scabskin Leathers. If we had the back half of Scabskins to block here, we could go to 1 and actually be able to attack with our Swing Big. The problem is we Swing Big for 9, Dash blocks with Teklo Foundry Heart and Adaptive Plating, or even just Adaptive Plating, Galvanizing Backup Protocol to play around Reckless Swing, and then kills us. Dash coming in with a high octane turn, leading off with a heist. We know that she has a maximum velocity in her hand. We're dead. Without even looking at what Dash has in her Banish, we know that we just don't make it out of this turn. Dash is going to Arsenal her maximum velocity. The problem is that she's played high octane, so she has 4 action points, and we are just dead at this point. Not a close game, honestly. About everything that... I don't want to say everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We just didn't do the thing. Dash came in with a full 18 value per turn compared to our 13.7. We not even low rolled. We had good disruption, we had a good sash turn. I don't want to say that Dash high rolled necessarily. She did play an item from the top of her deck most turns. She had multiple Spark of Geniuses, maximum velocity, high octane. The thing with Dash is that's what the hero does, is just have these incredible turns. And her weakness is disruption. Her weakness is heroes that block. And Kayo just doesn't do that very well. He doesn't do it as well as he needs to deal with Dio. This is a highly unfavored matchup for Kayo. We are hoping that our Dio opponents are unpracticed. It is a very high-skilled deck, very low floor for Dio. If the Dio player doesn't know what they're doing, it's very easy to mispilot the deck and lose because of it. But an experienced Dio player is absolutely going to kick your teeth in unless you can chain disruption or high roll them, or if they somehow manage to low roll you. And none of those things happened. We had good disruption, but Dio just got to block 6 from hand and still set up for a future turn. So I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you learned something. If so, be sure to assault and batter that like button. My comments are always open for any questions or feedback. Again, if you haven't already done so, please consider a YouTube subscription. It's free, it helps me out, but no matter what you do, catch me back here tomorrow for more daily FaB gameplay. And until then, take care.